What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of GG Gaming. I am your host and player 1, Andrew, and with me is my co-host and player 2, Alpha Stoutland.
What's up, guys? Alpha Stoutland here.
Today is December 4th. We missed 2 weeks, and before we move on, the reason there's an echo is because I just moved into a new place, and it's pretty empty in here. Maybe next week I will try recording in a closet or something, but as of right now, hopefully this is okay. So, Thanksgiving, we couldn't really, everybody was kind of busy. And then last week we actually had, everybody was busy. I was in the middle of doing, Monday was the onboarding for my new job, and now I moved to this new place, and it's really weird being in Tampa after being in New Jersey. Driving is very different. I hope you don't mind him eating something, but I'll tell you, I'm not used to the change in the driving. In New Jersey, we have something called jug handles. Are you familiar with that?
I have no idea what that is.
Okay, basically, let's say you have two roads that are, well, highways that are going, well, they don't have to be highways, but let's say one of them is a highway and you're on the highway and you want to make a left. You're not allowed to make a left. A jug handle is basically, they call it that because it looks like the handle of a jug. It goes off onto the right and it loops around into the intersecting lane. So in order to make a left, you actually get off on basically a ramp, like a small ramp that leads to the intersecting road. And we don't have that here in Florida. In Florida, you have to get into the left lane and make a left. So that throws me off. And one thing I have to do now that I've never had to do before is pump my own gas. Because in New Jersey, I believe it's illegal to pump your own gas.
Wow.
So I came down here. I was like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've never had to do this. So
they actually have like gas hops to pump your gas for you?
Yeah, they have people who come around and they basically do it for you.
Wow.
Yeah, so now I don't want to get gas anymore because it's just annoying. Because I'm spoiled. Now I have to get out of the car. Oh, man. The rest of the country is like, yeah, we always do that. So today we might have WreckitRyan join us later on. And we also might have Papagenos join us later on. But there's no certainty. So we figured we would start because we didn't know if they were actually going to be able to join us. So if they do, then we'll, introduce them again. Other than my new job and move, what have you been up to, Alpha?
Well, obviously I've been really busy, getting ready for Christmas and all that. Got a bunch of new games for Black Friday, and I've played all of them. And if you guys have been keeping up with me on my channel, if you haven't, I'll just list them off. I finally got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze,
Ooh.
And I got Crash Insane Trilogy. I got Starlink Battle for Atlas. I got ARMS finally, and of course I've been playing some Pokemon on and off. And finally beat the Shantae game. Finally beat the first game.
Wait, which Pokemon game?
Ultra Sun.
Oh, okay, awesome. And which Shantae game? You played it?
The very first one. I completed it, yeah.
Oh, what do you think?
It was good. I did get frustrated a lot because I got so turned around. I was like, where are all these items? Where are all the squids and all the power-ups? And so I looked up a walkthrough at some points when I got confused. And then I was happy. I found Risky's Hideout all on my own, so I was very happy about that. So.
Yeah, the first game is a little less intuitive, I guess.
Yeah,
they get more linear.
Okay, good.
At least linear in the sense where you know where to go.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, but I did enjoy that game, and I'm very excited to play the rest of the series now. So I'm looking forward to that, and so. I'm waiting for Risky's Revenge to drop maybe a little bit. I mean, it's $10, which isn't bad at all, but I was just hoping maybe to drop a few more dollars, but I'll probably go ahead and buy it, and that'll be one of the first games I play for the channel in the new year. So I'm very excited about that. And obviously, I just got my community tab on my YouTube channel, so that's
Nice.
awesome. I've been keeping up with my subscribers that way, doing polls and stuff, and using that as an update place instead of Twitter. So that's very helpful.
I don't actually know what that is. Community tab. Is that new?
Yeah, it's like it really puts the social media in YouTube. It's like on your channel, and it's just a tab that just shows up alongside like the about and the channels and the playlists. And you can just put a post. It's literally, you can post like Facebook. People can like it, comment. You can do polls. It's cool. I really do enjoy that feature. And it's just, I've seen people get it at like 10,000, at 3,000. I just got it, and I'm at like 1,900 right now. So it's just when they give it to you, I guess.
I guess I'm nowhere near that, but that would have been where I would said that the show was gone for the week, for Thanksgiving. But I had nowhere else to post that. I have the Facebook page for GG Gaming, but no one really goes to it. And then there's Twitter, which our fans don't really seem to look at either. So I was like, I don't know how to tell everybody that we were skipping the week.
Which I've definitely made my subscribers aware that I'm very busy this time of year with Thanksgiving and Christmas and my birthday and the Christmas play and all that stuff. It's very busy all the time. So yeah. I've got some videos planned, but for the most part, it's just been, run. So, and of course, playing my new games, that's eating up some time. I do want to talk about those in a little bit, but just kind of what are we doing? That's what I've been doing.
I actually want to ask you if you saw that there was, limited run games?
Yes.
That they are making a printed copy of Shantae
Pirate's
Curse for Switch. And what I'm waiting to see is the collector's edition.
Ooh.
I don't know what's in it. I don't know what it looks like, but I'm going to get it.
The collector's edition's the limited run you're talking about?
They're both from limited run games. It's they I guess make deals with companies that have like indie titles, so they don't have any physical copies. So what Limited Run Games does is they get the either rights or license or whatever in order to actually print physical copies. So they're making physical prints of Pirate's Curse for the Switch, and there's actually going to be a collector's edition. And one of the theories that at this point I really don't know how I don't know if I should get my hopes up or not, but someone pointed out that the day that Pirate's Curse is coming out on the Switch is the day Smash comes out. Or it's the day
pre-orders start.
Open up. So it probably doesn't mean anything, but one can dream.
And we will. But yeah, so the collector's edition is guaranteed, like it's a sure thing.
Oh yeah, they're doing the collector's edition. They just don't have any information on what it is yet or when it's going to be up. So I'm not pre-ordering the standard edition because I'm waiting. I want to jump on the collector's edition. Okay. Because
I was going to get the standard edition, but if it's something really good, I might go ahead and get the collector's.
I'm anticipating it's going to be like Half Genie Hero.
What do you mean by that?
The
like an ultimate?
Like that. Maybe there'll be an art book or something in there, which would be cool.
Okay, I might wait for that then. That's definitely be worth waiting for.
So what have you been playing? Have you been playing any of the Black Friday games that you got?
I have been playing ARMS a lot. I did not think I would enjoy it that much, but man, I picked that game. I was like, dude, this is so much. I haven't even been playing online. I've just been playing solo in the Grand Prix and just getting different arms. I have all but 2 for Lola Pop. So she's my main. I love Lola. So she is just such a fun character.
Tell me about that game because I don't know anything about it, and I actually want to know about it.
Basically, it's this random cast of characters that they're in this ARMS tournament. Like, apparently the lore is that some people are born with arms, which are these long, stretchy things, and some people don't have them. And like Twintail is born with them as hair, and what's her name? Girl in the mech, Mechanica, had made a suit because she's only 15 and she actually doesn't have arms. Her suit does, and so they basically just are in this tournament, fighting each other with their arms, and you can customize. Like a lot of the characters have a lot of overlap, with the arms they can use. Like I thought there would be like character exclusive arms. There's just arms that are highly associated with them, like Springman's toaster or Lola Pop's popper. And so they're not really any character specific arms, but they're arms that are more associated with that character that they use a lot in the main storyline. So, but it's just such a fun game. All the characters are great. They are all play completely different from each other. I love that. And like I said, my main's Lola Pop. She's such a fun character. And there's just Dr. Coil, Max Brass, Masango, Ribbon Girl, even Springman. They're all good characters, man.
What makes characters different from each other? If like you can
they
use
all
all
have
the same arms.
They all have different abilities. Like Lola is able to inflate herself like a balloon and bounce around. She can shield in the air. Dr. Coil is able to like turn invisible with her ability for a moment. Ninjara is able to like ninja vanish around. Max Brass has like a thing where he gets swole after he takes so much damage. Springman's, once he takes so much damage, like does consistent damage with his toaster punch. Ribbon Girl's able to jump 3 times. It's just, or double jump, not 3 jumps, sorry. But there's just, each character's just different. Misango has different like magical runes he can use to like put on his face and like summon ice and electricity and fire and stuff. There's just, each character's so unique, and I've only played a fraction of them so far, but I'm excited to play everybody because they're just such cool characters. Like, they really are.
Is there a story mode at all?
There is. It's a Grand Prix. It's kind of like your standard fighting game, go through 10 people and do the final boss. And so it's fun. Like, I would highly recommend it. It's just a fun game. Like, it really is. I did not think it would be that good, but I love ARMS. I really do. Yeah.
Did you know about the graphic novel that they're making for ARMS?
They are? Huh.
Yeah, you didn't know about it? It's
I didn't.
I believe it's Dark Horse. I don't remember exactly. It could be Image Comics.
Huh.
But it might be Dark Horse. I just forget which. And the guy Ian Flynn, the writer of Sonic and what was Mega Man, he's writing it. And so they had a preview of it, I believe, on Free Comic Book Day that's supposed to lead into the graphic novel, which I'm hoping gets printed in the graphic novel. But it looks good. It seems like Springman is the main character, or follows him. So, yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out because it looks really cool.
That's cool.
So,
But, yeah, the other games are good, too. I stayed up so late playing Starlink. That's a game that's like a time sync game. You'll be flying across and because I got the starter pack, so it had the R-Wing Fox, one of the pilot guys from the game, and then like a freeze ray and a flamethrower. And so I was going around flying around the R-Wing on this desert planet, and you'd come up across these giant monsters like, ooh, you can scan these and get data on them, and you can go mine minerals and stuff. And it's just, I've wasted so much time in that game. I have not picked it up since I binged it that whole night. So it's a good game. Like,
what
it's a fun
is the
game.
Star Fox part of it?
I don't think it exists except on the Switch version. And basically what it is that, the R-Wing is in the game, and Fox, Falco, Slippy, and Peppy are all in the story mode. And, like, it revolves around them. And I think you come across Wolf later and Star Wolf, I think. So that's like they customized it specifically. It, in a way,
or like a different
yes.
game.
In a way, I haven't played I don't know what the original Starlink is like, so I think it's kind of like an alternate storyline if the Star Fox team crash landed in this. Like, they basically saved these guys' butts in the story, and so it's a good game. The graphics look good. Fox and the team look great. It's a cool game too. But Tropical Freeze is great too.
Oh, yeah,
it is tough. It's tough, but it's very fun. And I do hate that the single player is kind of more dominated than the multiplayer. Well, I was playing with my brother, and he would play as Dixie and Diddy and Cranky, and most of the time he was just on my back and wasn't even playing. He said, dude, I don't even really need to play. I was like, I know I hate this, but it is a fun game, especially single player. And, of course, Dixie is OP as mess in that game.
Wait, is it as difficult as the Donkey Kong Country games on the SNES?
On the SNES or the Super Nintendo?
It's the same thing.
It is. I didn't know that. Okay, but
Yeah,
I mean,
it stands
I
for
played the
Super
Donkey Kong Country
Nintendo
games.
Entertainment System.
Okay. Oh wow. I'm stupid.
That's why
Anyway,
the NES is the Nintendo Entertainment
this is
System.
true. Yeah, it's called the Super Nintendo. I'm sorry, guys. It's been a long day. Um, but I did have it for the Super Nintendo. That was one of my very first games ever. I think it was the very first. As either that or Super Mario World 3, I think. But I do have very fond memories of playing that game. But I was like 5 to 9 when I played those, so it's been a while. So I can't really gauge how difficult it was because I was young. And so I like to think those were pretty tough, but it's challenging, but a lot of the time you die because of something you did that you screwed up on. And so it's not unfair.
Well, I think Donkey Kong Country is challenging because I didn't grow up playing it. I grew up with a Sega Genesis, so I never owned a Super Nintendo. So on the Wii or the Wii U, I forget which one it was, I bought the first Donkey Kong Country and played that, and it was so hard for me. I had to abuse the save states.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, because it was the Virtual Console. That's right.
Yeah.
But speaking of frustratingly hard, Crash Insane is insane. I did not think it would be that hard. I've only played the first game, and I've heard it gets easier. But good gravy, Bill! It is so hard. It is so hard.
What'd you say, Gravy Bill?
It was a Progressive commercial. Good gravy, Bill.
Oh.
But
I think I'm gonna start
that
saying
game
that now.
That game is tough. I mean, it's fun and it's really cool, and the graphics look great. It's just very, very hard.
Yeah, I want to play
It's simple, but it's hard.
I'm interested in playing that, and I'm interested in playing Spyro, but there's just too many games that I'm focused on coming out right now.
Yeah. I will be getting Spyro if it comes with all 3 games on one cartridge, probably. Even if not, I might get it if it comes to the Switch. But I am looking forward more to Spyro than I am Crash currently. Even though I have Crash, it's just Spyro seems like more fun and something more my speed. Crash is just like you die a lot, so
Wow.
it's kind of frustrating. I mean, it's a fun game. It's so precise. You just have to time your jumps perfectly, and just approach enemies very cautiously because every hit takes part of your life gauge. So it obviously, but like you only have 1 hit point per life, and once you get hit, you're dead, and you keep losing those heart container things. So it's frustrating. It's pretty, but it's frustrating. So, and I still have yet to play Ocarina of Time. Forgive me.
No,
but
it's okay. Eventually you will.
Time for that. So. I wanted to actually properly sit down and play that. So
what are the games coming out that you're anticipating and hyped for?
Oh, obviously the one that comes out Friday, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, Booyah, and Kingdom Hearts 3. That's and Spyro Reignited. That's pretty much the only ones right now that are
Spyro out yet?
So
is Spyro out yet?
For the PS4 and the Xbox One, not for the Switch.
Okay.
So. Yeah, I'm gonna wait to get it on the Switch just because I don't have a PS4 or an Xbox One, and my brother. I really don't want to get it for PS4 because it is his system. So I just was like, man, I want to play Spyro on the go on my game, so I'll wait for it on the Switch.
I'm looking forward to getting Dark Souls on the Switch, which I've already played that game on the PS3, and I think I've already said this on the show, but when I was playing it and got the DLC, at some point during the DLC, I lost all my PS3 data. And at that point, I had already played the game maybe like 7 times. So I was kind of done and figured one day I would go back to it. Because the DLC you can't access till the end of the game or near the end of the game. So I didn't want to have to play it again like an 8th time.
Yeah.
So when I heard that it was coming out again, specifically on the Switch, I was like, yeah, I'm going to get on the Switch because it comes with the DLC in it.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So there will be new content for me. So that's cool.
Nice.
You should play Dark Souls.
I feel like if Crash is hard for me, Dark Souls will be impossible.
No, I mean, it's difficult in a different way. Dark Souls is a game that's punishing but rewarding. it's very much like old school games where if you don't expect something and then you die, and then next time you know, oh, it's there. So, and dying is part of it. Like, I don't know. It's hard to explain without. I don't know. Have you ever seen it?
I've seen gameplay of it. I watched Arlo's review of it, and there was a lot of dying. So
I don't think I've seen his review of it. Of the first game?
okay.
I'm the
not
one on
sure.
the Switch?
The one on the Switch, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's the one then. I'm curious to see what was changed because I played it, the vanilla version, I suppose you could call it, when it first came out on the PS3. And after a while, I believe they changed some stuff around or added a save point here or there. So I never experienced the update. So
Okay.
I don't know if this version has that stuff or not. Like, for example, there's this one part of the game. It's called Blight Town. And it is a huge, I don't think it's really underground. It's like a dark, diseased town where it's all on wooden, it's like all built like wooden over a swamp. And there are like long wooden bridges and little wooden huts. And that part is probably, at least for me, one of the hardest parts of the game. And part of that is because there was no checkpoint. Or rather, there is a checkpoint at one point, but the problem is, okay, in the version I played, I don't know if they changed this when they made updates, but the way it worked was the bonfires were your save points, your checkpoints. So if you're playing with someone online, you can't go to a bonfire. You can't even activate it. I don't know why. I thought that was an overlook on an otherwise great game. But that was definitely a blemish where if you wanted to play with people, you couldn't activate any checkpoints. So I remember making it all the way up to the boss. We must have played for maybe 45 minutes to an hour, going from one side of Blighttown all the way to the other side of Blighttown. Or rather, the other side is you work your way down, like across and down to the swamp, and then you cross the swamp. Because you can't just jump down to the swamp. You'll die from that height. So then you cross the swamp, and then you make it to... I don't know how her name is pronounced. I always call her Quelaag, but she's the Chaos Witch Quelaag, which is the boss. She's the lady with the spider body. For anybody who is not familiar with Dark Souls, but might have seen pictures, she's the spider with the upper body of a woman. And we made it to that boss, and then we died. So there went 45
horrible deaths.
minutes to an hour of progression. I think if I picked up any items along the way, I kept them. But I mean, you couldn't activate the checkpoint if you're with people, which was really, really stupid. Like, I understand you can't sit down at the bonfire because there's stuff you could do. Like, I think once you're far enough in the game, you could teleport to another bonfire. You can level up your character. So, okay, I mean, I think you should still be able to do that, but okay, whatever. But don't make people not able to activate them as checkpoints, you know? So, I don't know if they fixed that or not, but that was the issue I ran into, and after that, I thought to myself, why should I ever play with a person again?
Yeah.
Because I don't know when the next checkpoint is. Now, after playing it 7 times, I have an idea of where the checkpoints are. And I kind of know what problems, like what parts of the game will give me a problem. So I'm hoping that it's more, not forgiving, but more accessible for multiplayer. I can imagine, because I think the first Dark Souls, I don't know if it was Dark Souls. I don't know. I think it was Dark Souls. It had different servers, so you couldn't just play with a friend. Where Demon Souls, you could play with a friend, and I think Dark Souls 2 and 3. I don't remember the situation with 2. I think they made it easier, but basically for some reason in Dark Souls, it was pretty much impossible to play with your friends. So, I think they fixed that for this one so you could play with people. I don't know if it's still one server or not. I don't know how it works, but I think you can play with your friends now, which is good. So, other than that, I played Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and beat it.
Okay.
And that was awesome. I remember texting you at one point saying, you gotta play this, you gotta play this. Basically, it's Pokemon Yellow, but there's a little extra story tidbits too. And I don't know what I can say without spoilering cameos, because I don't know if they're considered spoilers, so I'm not gonna say them. But they'll introduce some characters where you're like, huh, interesting. The characters that weren't in Yellow, that were maybe in other versions. Everybody knows about the addition of Green. Now, something I mentioned last time was that Green and Leaf were different characters. And because Green was never in the games, in Fire Red, Leaf, Green, the female protagonist was Leaf. So you had Red, Blue, and Leaf. And yes, I'm aware that since Japan got Red and Green originally, and we got Red and Blue, the Red's rival in Japan is called Green, and Red's rival in America is called Blue. So in America, we never had Green. In America, they never had Blue. But same character, just a different word was never used. So in the Pokemon Adventure, well, I think there was promotional artwork. So there was promotional artwork of Red, Blue, and a female trainer who was unnamed. And each one of them was facing each other in a circle. And each one had one of the starters. I'm sure you've probably seen this image once before.
I think is that the one with the Tortuga, the blue turtle rock?
No, that's probably come out afterwards. But this was one. It was a promotional image from before the game, before Red and Blue even came out. There was a promotional image that had Red, Blue, and an unnamed female trainer. They were standing in a circle, like even spaces apart from each other. So it was like a 3-way. And they each had one of the starters. So Pokemon Adventures, the end of the first arc, there was an image that replicated that. And they used the unnamed female trainer as as Green. So they based the character off of that. I don't know if maybe she was originally supposed to be part of it and they didn't have enough room. I don't know. The reason behind it is, so in Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee, they introduced this character, Green, which is strange because in Fire Red, Leaf, Green, her name was Leaf. So I don't know, maybe they just went back to what they originally planned. I don't know if they're the same character or not, but yeah, so Green is in it, and there's a couple of other cameos, and it's a really fun game. The only Pokemon Go part of it comes in catching Pokemon. And the only thing I don't like about that is that Pokemon can run away. Other than that, the battling and everything, it's like your Gen 1 Pokemon where they can't hold items and there was something else. They can't hold and they have no abilities, but it's just, they have their attacks. So it's basically reliving Gen 1, and it's a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. So
here comes a new challenger.
All right, guys, we have WreckitRyan who joined us just as I had said early on. WreckitRyan is here.
Woo!
Yes, I am here. Everyone is here.
Everyone is here. Well, Papagenos isn't, so it's not everyone, but that's okay. It's okay. Every one of the three of us is here. So, Ryan, before we stopped recording to bring you on, I was discussing Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee. Have you gotten a chance to take a look at that at all?
I have it on my Christmas list.
Oh, okay.
So I have not played it, but I do want it because it seems like it's a lot better than some people, including myself, were thinking it would be. So that sounds pretty good.
Definitely. As I was saying, it's pretty much at its core, Pokemon Yellow. And the only Pokemon Go aspects are when you're catching Pokemon. Other than that, it's like a main Pokemon game. It's just honestly, the only Pokemon Go aspect is catching Pokemon. And it's fine. I really like seeing the Pokemon on the screen because it makes things like caves and the power plant and things where you would get annoyed at running into wild Pokemon for a long amount of time. I mean, you know, when you have grass, it's okay because you can avoid the grass, but there are some times where you're just like, oh, I don't want to run into any Pokemon. I just want to go through the cave. These freaking Zubats, you know? So you can avoid that. And so I know some people don't like it because they like the random encounter, but and you know, honestly, there's a way around that. You can make a random encounter by just having like a black blob walk around, like a shadow. Almost like in some of the older games where you'd have the bushes shaking for like a strong Pokemon or something. Like I think there are ways they can still keep it random while actually avoiding the encounter. But I really like seeing the Pokemon on the screen. You can, you know, it kind of, you get that feeling of when in the old games when you run into something in the grass and you're like, oh my god, there's Chansey or something, but instead it's not running into it, it's seeing it on the screen, and you're like, oh my god, there's a Chansey, and then you're like trying to run around the Pidgeys to get to it. So it's like the same feeling in a different way. So and sometimes you'll see like I forget the name of the route or route or however it's pronounced, but it's the one with the docks where Snorlax is sleeping that goes down, and then to the left for Fuchsia City, there's an area where there's two patches of grass that are blocked off by trees, and the only way to get them is to go around. Like you can see them from the other screen, but the only way to get them is to go away from the grass and around, and then back up. So I remember like being in one patch of grass and seeing something rare in the other patch, and I think at that point it was Chansey. I was like, oh my god! So I was like quickly running around to try to get back to it, hoping that it wouldn't disappear by the time that I got to it. So it has those intense moments, those minor intense moments, and by minor I mean like you're sitting there trying to run into a rare Pokemon or something, and you don't know when it's going to show up, and then when it does, it surprises you. It's that you get that same feeling, but you're doing something slightly different. So I really like it. The only thing I don't like is that the Pokemon can run away, which makes shiny Pokemon, from my understanding, because I only ran into one shiny Pokemon, but it makes it kind of nerve-wracking, because if a shiny Pokemon could... I don't know if shiny Pokemon can run away. I don't know. It'd be nice
pretty
if
sure they can.
It'd be nice if they made it so shinies don't run away, or shinies get caught on the first catch. Because I know in Pokemon Go, if you do a raid battle and you get a shiny version of the raid Pokemon, since you're to use Premier Balls for raids and you have a limited number of them, I think they make it so the first hit is a guaranteed catch for shinies. So it would be nice if they did something similar to that in Pokemon Let's Go, where it's a guaranteed catch if it's a shiny or something like that, because that would be really annoying. So my first and only shiny in that game I saw was a Zubat, and I was not expecting it. I wasn't shiny hunting for it. I just saw a green Zubat, and I was like, whoa, what? And so I ran into it, and I was like, oh my god, it's a shiny Zubat. So
sweet.
I was like, wow.
And does that appear like in the wild? You see that?
Yeah,
or
it was shiny in the wild. I didn't know that. I thought it would only be shiny after touching it.
That's what I thought.
But I saw a green Zubat flying around. I was like, oh my god. So I just like ran into it.
Oh,
Which
that's
this guy out. Go ahead.
I was going to say, which actually might make it so you have to be a bit more observant, because some shinies look like their normal versions, but slightly off. So imagine trying to look for a shiny Pikachu.
Cool.
It's like almost the same color. So
yeah, you almost have to like. Go ahead, man.
Okay. But yeah, you really have to be careful. And I've seen people already fail shinies because they missed them. There's actually one dude I watch, and where he was at, I don't know what he was doing, but he was summoning like Charizards and Dragonites, and this dude got a shiny Charizard. I was like, oh my gosh.
Oh my god.
Because that thing is gorgeous. But I was just like, what? A shiny Charizard in the wild? What is this?
Oh my god.
I did have a really cool moment where I'm trying to fill the Pokedex, and I think the only things I'm missing are the ones that are exclusive to Eevee, or Let's Go Eevee, so I'm trying to get them in Pokemon Go and send them over. So I had this really cool moment where I was looking up, where's Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite? And then I saw Dratini was near the power plant, and it's saying that its encounter rate was maybe 4%. And then for Dragonair, it was maybe 1%. And for Dragonite, it was like, don't even bother, just evolve Dragonair. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll aim to get 3 Dratinis. So I put on the max lure, and I was surfing around the power plant, and I came across a bunch of Dratinis, and I was like, oh my god. And then, so I was just planning on evolving them, and then I came across a Dragonair in the water with the max lure on. I was like, oh my god. And then I think I was just flying, because the way to get Dragonite is, and some of the flying Pokemon, like the legendary birds and stuff, if they show up for you, is certain Pokemon you can ride on that fly, like Charizard, Dragonite, and I think there's one more. I forget which ones they are. Oh, Aerodactyl. And if you're riding on them as you're walking around, then they're close to the ground. But once you beat the game, I think once you beat the Elite Four, instead of staying to the ground, they fly up high in the air. And there are Pokemon in the air, like the flying Pokemon in the air. And so sometimes you'll run into like good flying Pokemon like Dragonite, and I ran into Dragonite without even looking for it, and I was like, oh my god. So I wound up getting Dratini, Dragonair, and Dragonite, which was amazing.
Sweet.
That was so lucky.
That had to be what Rosakin was doing then, because I was like, how is he finding Charizards and Dragonites? Because he was flying around on his Charizard, so that must be what happened.
Yeah, which is cool because you could fly over houses and stuff. Like you could just fly around on the map, pretty much wherever you want. Except over areas that probably have nothing, like like in the middle of the map or something. Obviously, you can't reach that, so you can't go over the tall trees that are at the edges of the roots. So, Ryan, are you gonna get Pikachu or Eevee?
I'm still personally gonna. Oh, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was just asking him which version he wanted.
I think I'm gonna get Eevee.
Okay.
Just based on the exclusives. It's a hard decision though, because I don't know. I'm gonna get Eevee though.
I got Pikachu because I just wanted like that feeling of being red and having a Pikachu. But honestly, both Pikachu and Yellow, both Pikachu and Eevee are really good because you can teach them. Pikachu and Yellow. Pikachu and Eevee have different. They can learn moves. Like you get to Pokemon centers, and there are people who will teach Eevee or Pikachu a certain elemental move. So. It was nice having a Pikachu that had a flying move, and what was the other move? What my Pikachu had
Splishy Splashy and
no, I actually
Gosh.
No, actually it had, what was it called? Like Zippy Zap or something? Zippy
Oh,
Zap?
okay.
Or Zappy Zip. Because it was basically Thunderbolt, or no, it was basically a quick attack with thunder property or electric property, and I think there was a chance to paralyze, maybe. So I was just like, oh, this is way better than both quick attack, and I'd rather use this over Thunderbolt. So I had that. I had Brick Break or whatever the fighting move was that I could learn, just so I can have a fighting move. And I think I taught it Thunder Wave so that I can have a guarantee paralysis, and Sky Drop No, Skydrop. No, not Skydrop. Whatever it is that they call it in the flying move that Pikachu could learn. So then I had Blastoise, Venusaur, Charizard. I had Mew because it came with the Pokeball Plus, and I really wanted to use Mew from the beginning, and I used an Alolan Sandslash. So you can actually get the Alolan forms in the game. You don't have to worry about transferring them from Pokemon Go. And the way to get them is in certain Pokemon centers, there are people willing to trade their Alolan version for your Cantonian version. And it seems like it's an unlimited amount of trades.
Oh, wow.
So you can, if you want like a bunch of, like I was trying to build a living dex or, have one of every Pokemon. This way, right. I can eventually, if I want to, attempt the master battles, which I suppose one way to go about, the better way to go about that is to maybe, for example, train a Bulbasaur up to level 75 and then evolve into Ivysaur and then evolve it into Venusaur. But I didn't know what I was going to do, so I just was like, let me get like an Alolan Sandshrew and an Alolan Sandslash. So I realize you can just keep trading them as long as you have extra, say, Diglets. You can just keep getting Alolan Diglets. So that was really cool. Alolan Sandslash became a really good member of my team. Like he was really strong.
Sweet.
For some reason, he was leveling up. I don't know why. Maybe I used him more and didn't realize, but he was a higher level than everything else.
Traded Pokemon level up faster.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Traded, yeah, that makes sense. So so that was my team. There was a couple of other Pokemon I really wanted to use, but that was just the team that it's like, I guess this is my team. So what team would you guys use in the Let's Go game if you were playing it?
We'll let Ryan go first.
Okay. Since he's planning on getting in the game.
Yeah.
Let's see. I have to look at do I have Vulpix and Ninetales in my version?
It doesn't matter. Just which ones would you want, I guess.
Well, I definitely want Ninetales.
Because do you play Pokemon Go?
I did way back when it first came out.
Okay. I mean, I can always just trade one to you. Actually, the Eevee version has Vulpix, so.
Nice. So. Yeah, I usually start with at least one of the start. I don't know if I'll do Charizard, Venusaur, and Blastoise, but definitely would like Charizard to ride around on, and then Eevee. My favorite team is to get every evolution. But if they only have the 3, I can't fill my whole squad with them. So I'll at least have Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon in there.
Okay. Yeah. How about you, Alpha? Well, you're not planning on getting the game, right?
I might. I'm still very much on the fence about it. Why? And it's just, from what I've heard and seen, it's just stupid easy, and I just don't like that. And I already ranted about this with Ryan on my channel. So
that was before it came out.
I know, but
all Pokemon games are pretty much easy now, so you're not going to be able to avoid that.
I hope the next one is hard. I hope they make it tough.
Ultra Necrozma was hard. I don't think anybody can deny that.
Yeah,
that's true. That was a tough battle.
Yeah.
That was kind of tough.
I mean, opinions on the game aside, if I picked, I would be picking Eevee as well, just because Eevee is so freaking adorable. And I mean, I love Pikachu, but Eevee is so cute, and I just want to snuggle it and cuddle it, and it's so cute. So that would be my partner Pokemon, and obviously Charizard, obviously Dragonite, and I would probably have a few other of my favorites from Kanto. I love Hitmonlee, so I'd probably have him. I might have something along the line, maybe Gyarados. I do need a water type, so I'll probably have Gyarados. And then maybe something like Alakazam, Gengar, Lapras, Snorlax, something like that. So, but yeah, I'd kind of balance my team with favorites and type coverage. So, but yeah, Charizard, Dragonite, and Eevee would be absolute must. Like, I love Charizard, I love Dragonite. So, yeah, that'd probably be my team.
Okay. Now, we don't have too much time left, and I don't think we have too many messages or comments, rather. Did you guys want to talk about Smash for a bit?
Maybe.
Because it's been
Maybe
like
a little
two,
Maybe just a little
weeks,
bit.
and there's been quite a bit. Who wants to start? Anybody got anything they're looking forward to?
I do want to say, let's avoid talking about like World of Light and spirits and stuff, because I haven't seen anything about World of Light. I know the entire game got leaked early, but I have avoided everything like the plague.
Me
It's
too.
just-
Yes.
But yeah. So besides, I mean, obviously we could talk about stuff that's been revealed, but I mean, I'd say we let Ryan start. Special guest. So
Yeah. Well, he's less of a special guest and more of a every once in a while guest now.
you know what I mean, yeah.
But yeah, he comes on less often, so let's start with him. He's a special host, special co-host.
I'm moving on up in the world here. Are you guys all getting it like day one or getting it later on?
Well,
I'm actually, if there's going to be a midnight release, I mean, there's supposed to be a midnight release at the GameStop I'm getting it from. So that's where I will be, and I'll be getting it early, and hopefully picking up a Mewtwo amiibo if it's there. So I'm getting it the day of. I can't wait.
I have an issue where I moved too far, so the GameStop that I pre-ordered it at is maybe a 17-hour drive away.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see if I can get the special edition without pre-ordering it from whatever GameStop is here in Tampa. I know there is one because I've Googled it. I've looked around for it, but I haven't actually been in Tampa. So I don't know if Friday after work, if I'm gonna maybe try to drive down there to see if I can get it. Otherwise, maybe someone at home back in New Jersey can pick it up for me and ship it to me, in which case I'd have to wait a few days. So unfortunately, I wouldn't have it for the weekend. In that case, I'd have to wait till next week. So
You couldn't pre-order online, or?
I pre-ordered at the store because at the time I didn't know I was moving.
Yeah.
And I
But
asked
you
them
couldn't
about...
pre-order online at the new one?
No, because it's unavailable. They're sold out online.
Oh. Yeah, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, I mean, it seems like it's guaranteed I'll get it, but I don't know when. And that makes me sad.
Yeah,
That makes
I
me a
hate
sad
that, man.
boy.
So, Drew, you said you're from New Jersey?
Yeah.
Nice, me too. I was
Really?
from New Jersey, moved to North Carolina.
That is...
You must have told me that. I forgot. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
you both are in North Carolina.
Yep.
Yes.
Are you both, like, neighbors?
Oh no, he's near the Chapel Hill area. I'm near the east, near the North Carolina, South Carolina coast, more to like Wilmington and Fayetteville area.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
See, so much has happened with Smash in the past couple of weeks that I don't know what I can say that's not a spoiler. So I'm almost like skeptical. I'm almost like hesitant to even talk about it because I don't know what people want to hear and don't want to hear.
We could.
We don't want to hear spoilers.
Yes, very true. No spoilers. We could talk about like who remaining and what we're gonna do as soon as we get the game.
Well, part of the
Stuff like
problem
that.
is you want to stay away from spoilers, and I know some, so I don't want to accidentally spoil anything for you. Alpha. So I don't. That's why I'm like I don't know what to say. I don't know if we should wait till like next week. So, I don't know. But I do know
It'd be
that
spoilers to talk about who we're gonna main, or
no.
okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna main Shantae.
We will await that day
Please
patiently.
tell me that's a spoiler.
No, I wish. Right. I don't know. Who
yeah.
are you guys gonna main?
I am going to try out a couple characters who I was excited about in Smash 4, but I just couldn't get the hang of them because I think they sped up a lot of the characters, like across the board, but
I think
more
everybody.
so.
Just the gameplay's been sped up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I think also specific characters that were like a little bit slower, like Palutena, have been like exceptionally sped up. So I'm definitely gonna try.
yeah.
I think Robin was sped up, I heard.
Yeah, Robin and
Yes.
Palutena got buffed real good from
Yeah.
what
Good,
I've heard.
because I like them
those
as
are the first
characters.
two.
So.
Those were probably the first two I was going to try out because I was so excited that they were so buffed. So it'll be fun trying out some of those characters that I just could not get the hang of because they were so laggy. So that'll be really cool. So Robin and Palutena, then my good old Pac-Man.
Yeah.
I heard he got buffed too.
Nice.
Ooh,
I
nice.
like Pac-Man. I just don't really. I'm not good at using him.
He's very complicated.
There's
I like
is.
pocket him, but I love Pac-Man. I just love the fact he's in the game.
I
There's
know
a lot
that
of
was
there's a lot of
that was actually my
characters.
most hype character reveal.
Yeah, it was pretty
Yes.
hype too.
Yeah.
That was so hype. Yeah.
It's actually a lot of characters that I want to use or like, and I'm just not good at them. So part of me wants to really try. Well, obviously I'm gonna play as everyone, but I really am looking forward to playing as everyone to see if the characters this time that I wasn't able to play before, if I'm better with them now because
Exactly.
because they play differently. Like Zelda, I always thought Zelda was cool. I was never able to really grasp her. And not only did she get buffed, but she's more appealing looking in terms of like the design. So I'm really excited to use Zelda now. I'm also really excited to use Ganondorf because I used Ganondorf for fun.
Oh yeah.
I used Ganondorf for fun. Occasionally competitive, like more closer to competitive, but still more fun, like somewhere in the middle. And not only does his design look cooler this time around, but he uses his sword, and I'm interested to see how he plays differently now.
Definitely. That side smash is going to be so gratifying.
Yeah.
So yeah, like old characters are gonna be like new again, and I'm really excited to play as old characters.
Yes. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And Mega Man, I believe, listening to Game Explain, and Ash Paulson was talking about how Mega Man got some buffs because he's a Mega Man main. And I'm also a Mega Man main, at least one of my main characters. And I'm really excited that he's gotten some buffs because I like using Mega Man. It seems like in Smash 4, my main was Mewtwo. Like, he was the one that I was probably the best with and also enjoyed playing as the most. How about for you guys back in 4?
Pac-Man for me.
Pac-Man?
Yeah.
How about you, Alpha?
For me, I definitely attached to Mario early on because when the demo came out, it only had Link, Villager, Pikachu, him, and who was the fifth?
Mega
I
Man,
forget.
I think.
Mega Man, that's right. So we only had those 5, and Mega Man and Villager did not click with me at all, especially Mega Man. I eventually picked up Villager as a pocket, and I love Villager to this day. I'm very excited about him again, and as for Isabelle.
Pocket.
And then Link is cool, and I love Pikachu, but Mario was just, I don't know. He's just so simple to use, but he's so well-rounded and so good, and I just latched onto him because I love his combo game, and it's Mario. I mean, you gotta love Mario. And just like you, I love Mewtwo. I love Mewtwo. He's one of my favorite Pokemon ever, and I love his moveset. Shadow Ball is beautiful and so satisfying to hit with. And of course, I've got like a pocket list a mile long. I've got Villager, Little Mac. I love Little Mac. I already said Villager. Pac-Man on and off. Sometimes Ganondorf is another one I love dearly. I loved the down air in Smash 4. I'm so glad it's back again. And I did touch up on Zero Suit Samus every now and again, and a couple other characters every now and again. But like y'all, there are characters like Shulk for me and Palutena that I am so excited to use now because they look so much easier to use. Like Zelda looks I love cute Zelda so much more than angsty gothic Zelda. Like, I love her design so much more and her personality so much more. She's just such a fun character now, and I love how they've streamlined her moveset some more too. And like new characters, I have actually never played as Pichu or Cloud or any of those guys, so I'm very excited to play as Pichu especially. And Cloud, I may have played one time during Smash 4 at a friend's house, but I've never actually had time with him because I never bought him or Roy for the DLC in that game. And so I'm excited to play Roy as well, but more importantly, Cloud. And Wolf, I'm so psyched he's back. Pokemon Trainer, I cannot wait. And for new characters, especially King K. Rool and
Ridley.
Isabel. Ridley, somewhat. I'm definitely more excited about King K. Rool. He looks more my style. Ridley looks fun, though.
I'm excited about Ridley because he was a character that people were like, oh, he's never going to be in, he's never going to be in. And then he got in. So I was like riding that hype with people where I was like, he got in. Yeah. And so now I want to play as him because of that.
And I am going to definitely try him out. I don't feel like he's more... I love King K. Rool's just goofiness and personality more than his just, I'm going to murder everything in sight of Ridley. But I'm so glad they're both in the game, and I'll definitely try them both out. And I do want to try Inkling out, see if I can use them.
Yeah.
So they look like a ton of fun, and I know you're excited about them, Ryan.
Yes, that could be my potential new main.
How
thinking.
about Simon Belmont?
I feel like I might try him. I prefer Richter, honestly. Again, personality and design wise, he looks cooler to me than him. He just looks like He-Man. But really, he does. But
He-Man Belmont.
Yes, I have the power.
This year's winner is He-Man.
I mean Simon. But I'll try those two out too. I feel like they could be a lot of fun. I feel like they're going to be broken. Oh my goodness! I cannot wait to see Bayonetta get creamed by these guys in tournaments. Yes,
get her out of there.
You have been dethroned.
I'm actually really curious to know since Sakurai saw Bayonetta be abused. So in the that Smash tournament at E3. I'm really wondering if he's going to take liberties to kind of like nerf her in that combo aspect.
The nerf hammer.
I feel like what they should do is they can keep the comboing, but after a certain amount of certain combos, and I don't know which because I don't play Bayonetta, but whatever would lead into off-screen combos, like if you do certain combo inputs, then she should like stop and fall down, like as if you did an up B.
Right.
Oh yeah. They need to nerf her like they did Greninja. So
they need to nerf her comboing. Like they can keep the comboing in, but make it so. Let's say for let's say for example, just for the sake of argument, her off-screen one kill combo is like up B, side B, up B. So they should know that that's an off the screen combo. So if you input up B, side B, then you cannot follow up with an up B. Like something like that where they would limit how far you can combo based on what would kill.
Okay.
I think that would be like you can side B and up B, but not if you did up B, side B, then you can't follow up with an up B. Like, they should be able to do something like that. That would be the smart thing to do, I think, in terms of being able to cut down on the comboing.
Right.
Well, so was there anything else you guys want to talk about Smash?
I'm excited. Like
me too.
Yeah, I can't believe it's like almost here now. 3 days.
No, it's surreal, dude.
I wish
We've
it
been
was actually
finally here.
For so
to quote Doctor Strange, we're in the end game now.
We're finally here, performing for you.
Yes, we're in the end
If you know
game.
the words, you could join in too. Everyone's here.
Yeah, we're finally here. I don't know the whole song, but I know what you're talking about.
I did know the whole song when I was younger. So before we go,
that's someone else who's my pocket main is Donkey Kong. Anyway, okay.
Before we go, I was just gonna read a comment real quick, and I don't want to dwell on it because we're hitting the end of the show. But I figured we might as well read through it.
Let's do it.
Elam Omni Alpha is our MVP. He always gives us messages, and let's see here. I'm just going to read what he wrote. This is most likely pertaining to our episode from 3 weeks ago at this point. So some of the things might go over my head. I won't remember what it was in reference to. So he says, my 3DS had the same problem. A new battery is really all you need. Okay, so that's because I had a problem with my 3DS. I don't fully trust Senjo Gahara either on their original quote-unquote leaks, as they haven't gotten anything quote-unquote new right that Virgiben didn't say first. However, I do agree that neither Geno or Banjo would ever be considered by Nintendo, and in Geno's case, would never be considered by Square Enix either. I really don't know, because I think this Smash cycle, or this Smash game, they're really focusing on fan requests.
Yeah, I think they are genuinely like very hype characters based on what that Treehouse person said, so... It just seems like they're actually like very hype characters.
Yeah.
Which at the same time, obviously Nintendo rep would say that Nintendo picked good characters because otherwise Big Nintendo would be very mad at this guy. So I do want to read into that as, whoa, these characters are worth our money. But at the same time, it's kind of expected for him to say it's worth buying because he's from Nintendo. I mean, of course, I don't want to shoot your argument down, Ryan, but I do feel like that is something to consider too, definitely.
Right. Yeah, I get that.
I think that there's a good trade-off with ending the hype cycle early in order to reveal everything for the game and not spoil anything. But in order to keep the hype going, reveal really hyped characters for DLC.
Yes.
Especially with the holidays right around the corner. If you want to keep that hype going throughout the holidays, you would introduce a really hype character as DLC.
Mm-hmm. Which there are rumblings that there will be an announcement the 6th. So
is it the 6th?
At the Video Game Awards. Yep.
What day of the week is that?
It's Thursday. Thursday night.
Yeah, 2 days now.
It starts at 8. Hold on. I wrote it down on a note in my phone. It's either 8 or 8:30. And I think it's 8 o'clock.
That sounds right.
In the morning?
In the evening.
Okay, so I should be home.
It is at... Where is it? Sorry, I'm eating up time. I'm sorry.
With bated breath.
Did I delete it? Wait a sec. Did I delete my notepad? It is. Okay, 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m.
8:30. Where can we watch it?
It is... I will send you a link because I have the site saved on my tabs, so I'll send you both a link.
And you know what? I will put that link in the description.
Nice.
Good.
Because anybody who listens to us is important enough to get that link.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's 8:30 Eastern time. 8:30
Okay.
Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
So.
The next thing he says is Geno isn't stupid. Sorry, not Geno. But Nintendo isn't stupid, especially when it comes to marketing ever since Splatoon. They want the DLC to sell, but they aren't going to disadvantage themselves to do it. Popular and useful for Nintendo to promote aren't mutually exclusive. They can be smart and generous, like Sora, Shantae, Rayman, Bandana D, Karate Joe, or anyone from Dragon Quest, because it is gigantic in Japan. I agree. I don't think that Nintendo is stupid, but I think that they might look at things from a monetary perspective. Big Nintendo, like the big. So it really all comes down to who is in charge of who gave the list to Sakurai.
Exactly.
Is it the
It's
financial
who at
advisors,
Nintendo.
or is it people who are working on upcoming games, or is it people who are looking at fan requests? We really don't know. Nintendo is broad enough that it really could be anyone.
There's so many branches of it. There's no telling who. I would think it's probably a combination of like marketing and like some kind of customer interaction thing, because they have to know what the results of the ballot are. They have to know the demand of certain characters online, because their online presence has only gotten better and better over the years. So they have to have some kind of knowledge of who we want and what we want. So I mean, look, they gave us adventure mode. They're listening. I want to be pessimistic, but at the same time, I want to be optimistic because they've given us so much to start with.
The person who wrote the list of characters for Sakurai is Sakurai himself, because he works for Nintendo, so it's actually accurate. He's like, yeah, Nintendo gave it to me. It's like he wrote it himself.
Mm-hmm. I gave it to them. They looked at it, like, okay, and I took it back and made it because I'm a smart man and do amazing things.
It's like 5 different piranha plants.
Gosh.
Oh gosh.
I saw
love
people
Final
saying they
Fantasy,
want
not
the
that
Echo
much.
Fighter to be that plant thing from Legend of Zelda.
Oh, the Daegu Baba.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool. I really hope we get more Echo Fighters.
Yeah.
In addition to DLC fighter passes,
Yeah.
or as cheaper uploads or to DLC or whatever.
Yeah.
And he
I
says,
could see them being $1 or $2, not
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
a full
exactly.
We
fighter.
talked about that before.
I can go for an Echo Fighter pass. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Or a costume
Yeah.
pass.
It says,
Yes.
I want costumes so bad.
I want a Shovel Knight costume. I can't have Shovel Knight. I want a Shovel Knight costume for the Sword Fighter.
That'd be awesome.
That would be so cool.
That would
be
be
so
cool.
awesome.
Like me costumes that actually look like the characters.
Yes, dude.
Well,
That's
I mean,
what I'm
Rex
hoping
looks
for.
really good. The
Yeah.
Rex looks
He
good.
just has the me head.
Yeah.
Which actually
Yeah,
kind of brings
I know.
me to the next thing that Omni Alpha says. He says, I agree that Steve will almost definitely be a me costume, probably the only one equipable to all me classes with the bow for the gunner. Yeah, that's actually, that would be really cool.
That's a
Uh-huh.
cool idea. I like that better than him being a. It just doesn't make sense for him to be his own fighter. I don't know.
I think
And
he'd
what
be
better way to honor the avatar of
Steve.
Minecraft than implant him on the avatar for Nintendo?
Exactly. I think that's the best compromise.
Yeah. And then we can get Banjo. So
Yeah.
or Master Chief. Oh,
I would
so-
even go for him being like, when you press the button to swap through costumes for characters, I would be fine with him being like an alternate character of the me character. Rather than just a costume. Like, you can have the me character, and then when you press the X or Y button, it switches over to Steve Fighter, Steve Gunner, or whatever.
Steve Gunner,
Steve Gunner.
Steve Sword
Brawler.
He says, all the newcomers in Ultimate are unique and have very visible personality besides Simon, but I think Richter was the original choice, but Simon was added for his legacy later. The DLC will definitely follow suit like Smash 4's gimmick characters did. I don't know what you mean by gimmick character.
Well, like with Ryu, he had like those combos and stuff. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
Cloud had
Bayonetta and Corin. So
Bayonetta had the arts. I mean, they all had like their own little flair to them.
That's true.
yeah. That is the good thing about the DLC from Smash 4 is that every single character was completely unique from each other. So,
Right.
I mean, Cloud has this freaking huge sword, and Roy has a sword too, but he hits completely differently than Cloud. Then you got, like you said, Ryu, where he actually brings his combo game from Street Fighter. And then, of course, Bayonetta brings her combo game from her games. And, of course, Mewtwo and Lucas, awesome that they came back too. So, and then Corrin turns into a dragon and uses like a lance and stuff. So they definitely they will do unique, awesome newcomers. I just hope that they
hope so.
pick ones that we want. So
Shantae would be a unique and
Yeah.
awesome newcomer.
she would be. I actually am going to be doing a video about this soon. I'm actually going to be doing another Shantae video. So
I actually really like the idea that I don't know if it was Omni Alpha or somebody else that we said weeks ago, where the longer you hold down the B button, she'll switch from like fireball to flamethrower or whatever, and like there would be a visual cue when she switches it. So
that could work.
Yeah. The only other things he says is the most genius thing about the trailer is that Nintendo didn't even need to pay for any of the music. I fully believe it was intentional after release tagline and the K. Rool trailer. They pay attention to memes for promotion. Yeah, I think they pay attention to memes, but I don't know. I still don't know if they took out the music for that trailer on purpose or not.
I like to think they did. I like to think they're very savvy that way, and they just like they just went for it.
Yeah, they're like, this is free marketing. Let's just
People
do
are
it.
gonna have fun.
And then the last thing he says is my favorite Reese's is the Reese's Pieces filled ones. That sounds good to me.
They are good. And the Reese's Outrageous Bar with caramel and nougat and peanut butter and Reese's Pieces is like diabetes and a candy bar, but it's so good. Oh, it's good.
Well, that's pretty much it for this episode. There was a couple other things that got asked, but I think we can tackle that next week because we're kind of done. we each got stuff to do now. So Ryan, where can they find you?
You can find me over on Twitter at WreckitRyan64 or on YouTube /Invalid Paperclip, which don't ask me how that became my tag, but or WreckitRyan is my name with the Splatoon icon.
Okay. And Alpha, where can they find you?
Also, you can find me on Twitter and YouTube, and you can look me up on Discord as well.
And for me, check out the links in the description below because I got a few different names and a few different social medias. And you know where to find me on YouTube because you're watching it right now. Just hit subscribe. And as always, if you follow my comic series Spirit Legends on Tapas, I will give you a shout out. And I don't think anybody followed it since I last checked. So, oh well. All right, guys, that's it for today. See you next week and enjoy the smashing before next week.
Yes.
Next
Enjoy.
week will be a smashing episode.
It will be. It'll be truly smashing.
All right, guys, take care.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
That's funny.
Absolutely smashing.
What smashing? He-Man Belmont.
Yes. I have the power!
This year's winner is He-Man.
I mean, Simon!